Ready to taxi.
Sweet. Enfield 1 is taxi. Alright boys, let's do it.
Trees rolling.
2 rolling.
Enfield 1-1, request takeoff.
Easy 1-1, radio check on tower.
Catch 5x5.
Rolling.
Alright. We're making a left here, and we're I don't know, forget what runway this is. We're taking off from this runway.
I think
we have
it's
to cross
27,
it
but I'm not
to
sure.
the left directly.
Say again, 3?
I have to cross the runway and take a left and continue to the end.
Yeah, I know where it is. I'm just saying we're Enfield 1 taxiing across 27.
Easy 1 is taxiing.
Alright, we'll do 2 ship
Call
departures.
1-1, abort takeoff.
2, 3, 4.
Keep rolling.
2's rolling.
Enfield 1-1, rolling.
Enfield 1-2 rolling.
Cold fly across runway 815.
3 powering up and rolling. 4 rolling.
One's out of the burn. Two check left steer 2.
2.
3, 4.
Okay. Flight push uniform 253.
Two.
3, 4.
Enfield 1-1 checking in.
Enfield 1-1, Overlord, radar contact, bullseye 24519. Trees blind on 1.
That's fine. Just continue steer 2.
Enfield Overlord, picture, single group, bullseye 01575 10,000. Track
I'm,
west, bandit to
350
contact
right now.
21.
You guys are going to be 30 seconds behind us anyway, so you can just keep that separation.
Are you climbing for altitude now?
Yeah, we're gonna be at medium altitude until we go in NOE.
Copy.
2 settled left wing.
Visual. 2 fence in.
2 fenced in fuel state 8.1, tankers feeding.
Four fence in as well. 3's fence 7.9. Uzi 1-1 Overlord, single group Bekaa 015 52 10,000 hot bandit 2 contacts MiG-21. Uzi 1 contact, we're gonna retrograde and wait for calls. Overlord.
I got a contact right on the nose.
The ones at 20 miles are friendly.
Yeah, but I've got the other ones at like 60 miles hostile.
Yep. We're just gonna hang out over the Hawk. There's a Hawk at somewhere around tier 2. We'll just hang out over there.
Copy.
Enfield 1-1, friendly traffic, 12 o'clock, 8 miles, 14,000, tracking south at Uzi flight. Uzi 1-3 traffic clear nose 2 miles 16,000 climbing, that's Enfield flight.
Overlord, Colt 1, flight of 3, F-14, checking in out of Vermont David at flight level 07.
Colt 1, Overlord, radar contact, bullseye 24515. You got Uzi flight off your nose, 15 miles, 15,000 feet, tracking southwest. Enfield flight, your nose, 22 miles, tracking northeast.
Colt 1.
Colt 1, Enfield.
Colt 1, Colt 1.
Enfield 1, kill bandits, Bravo, at 9,000, strength 2, MiG-21.
Colt 1.
Okay, let's check, at Apex, let's check left. We're gonna just orbit here. Enfield 1's anchored.
Trees orbiting as well, left on turn. Enfield 1, single group, raw 03525, 10,000, flank southeast, hostile, 2 contacts, MiG-21.
Okay, gents, we're just gonna keep a left-hand orbit from tier 2. If we get spike 21, we're just gonna flow southwest and pull them into the Hawk.
2.
3.
4.
Overlord, single group, bullseye 02545, 10,000, track east, hostile, 2 contacts, MiG-21.
Colt 1, Judy, MiG-21.
Overlord.
Yeah, they're probably locking up Uzi. We're fine. Do one more orbit, then we'll go anyway.
Three. Four.
Cold flight is no longer committed on the bandits. We're currently heading for waypoint 3, keeping an eye on the enemy group.
Alright, check right. Let's check right to steer 3. Let's go idle throttle and start diving. 20 degrees nose down.
2. 3. Enfield cold.
Let's go like 25 degrees nose down. Go for Enfield.
Colt's unable to press in 11 knots without jammer support. MiG-21 bandits are cold to the east.
Yeah, understood. You have control of the jamming.
I thought Skynet had control of the jamming.
Oh, you're Colt, sorry.
Cold 1-6. This is Uzi. Has someone requested the jammer?
No, so you're in control of the jamming as fragged, so you have to control that. Okay, Enfield 1 is entering the valley.
If Colt wants it, they can have it.
Say again, Enfield 1 is entering the valley.
Altitude. Altitude.
3, what's your time to waypoint 3? Yeah. Sam launch, Charlie and Bravo.
Visual Sam launch to
your time to steer point 3?
Say again.
Your time to steer point 3, so I can take the interval.
Jammer on.
Passing it now.
Door should be open.
Copy. 1 minute 20 out. Speeding up. Let's go mill.
Uzi, Enfield, understand jamming is on?
That is correct.
Roger.
Altitude. Altitude.
Overlord, new group out of Kalkala.
Altitude. Altitude.
Overlord, new group over Kalkala, bullseye 06562.
Altitude.
10,000. Bandit
Altitude.
2 contacts, track north, MiG-21. Forgo trail.
Uzi
Altitude.
Enfield, 1 minute 30 to IP.
So 1 and 2 are going to attack Alpha.
Yeah, we can't go over the whole plan again, but yes, that's what you're focusing on right now.
Copy, just to make sure.
Enfield, 1 minute.
Altitude. Altitude.
Uzi Enfield, request
Altitude.
suppression, Alpha and Bravo.
Altitude.
Any call sign, Enfield 1-1, ready to check.
Altitude. Altitude.
Clear.
Retrans to Uzi, request suppression, Alpha and Bravo.
Uzi call from Enfield, request suppression, Alpha and Bravo.
Altitude.
I'm at
Altitude.
the IP.
Enfield 1-1, Overlord, single group, barrage
Altitude.
01531.
Altitude.
10,000, hot, hostile 2 contacts, MiG-21.
Okay, 1's IP inbound. Enfield 1-1, IP inbound. Street flush is on the left side of a red brick building, in a clearing just to the left of the target. Rockets.
Visual.
Altitude. Altitude.
Off to the left.
Enfield 1-2, IP inbound.
3 up to... pulling up. To stick to target. 1 is still engaged. 1.
Negative. I think you're clear. Go ahead and continue to Bravo.
Okay, pushing still right down.
Altitude. Altitude.
Enfield 1, splash, Alpha. K2, I'm in the pop. IP inbound for re-attack.
2.
Sam 2.
One's in from the southeast.
Colt 1-3, bogey dope.
2, I'm attacking the left side of the target area, left of that burning straight flush.
2.
Colt 1-3.
Attack the
Overlord,
Telar
07,
behind the straight flush,
45,
behind the burning straight flush.
23,000.
Altitude.
Hot.
3 still
Altitude.
copy from IP inbound. To target Bravo.
1-3.
Rockets off.
Flare.
Enfield 1-1, threat. For 01010. 10,000. Hot hostile.
Hey, 3 flow south, spike 21.
Altitude.
Bravo.
Altitude. Pull up.
40's in the pub.
Two come off left, rejoin, defending spike 21.
The trailer of the MiG-21s.
Enfield 1-1's flowing 210, defensive.
Pickle. Breaking left.
2 flow 210.
210. 3 back to Steve Montana.
Colt, Enfield 1, Castle. Okay guys, flow 210.
Lead say again.
Flow 210.
Flowing 210.
Splash to MiG-21 north of Bekaa.
3 is at steer point 10. Overlord single group remaining bullseye 045 52 32,000.
Somebody at my
west hostile
9 o'clock.
contacts MiG-21.
I'll go in the right hand turn.
2 right for steer 10.
Right turn, steer 10.
Enfield using 1.
Hey,
3 minutes,
3
30 seconds.
3
remaining
say
jammer.
3 say Enfield understand. 3 say status attack Bravo.
This is 3. We attacked target. Bombs on target. Over steer point 10 now. Holding for you.
Confirm you killed the straight flush.
I pickled on it.
Understand. Let's go for 13, steer point 13, and we're gonna attack Delta.
Copy. Turning towards staple 13.
Yeah, 3 depart steer 10 now. I'm about a minute out. I'll be right behind you.
Copy.
2 inbound, steer 13.
2, are you visual?
Colt 1 single group raw 090
2 negative on visual.
32,000. Hot hostile.
All right, I'm over the
contact,
ridge.
line
I
of
should
rest,
be to your.
forward maneuver.
Let's see here. Hold on. I should be to your 11 o'clock. I'm at Angels 4, right over the ridge.
Papa flare.
Altitude. Altitude.
40 still visual on me. 4 blind.
Out.
Flaring.
Altitude.
Low.
Altitude.
No
Altitude.
flare wasn't seen.
Altitude.
Okay, I'm 2 miles to steer 10.
Pull
My
up.
heading is
Enfield 1-3.
010.
Threat for
I'm over
09514.
steer point
26,000.
13 now.
Hot hostile.
MiG-21, is the north arm.
2 is 3 miles, steer 10.
Inbound for 6.4.
Negative. We got
Inbound. Target, north arm, bra,
Aboard.
060.
Turn.
yeah. Come
13,
yeah.
26,000,
Defend
hot
south.
hostile MiG-21.
Defend south. Another MiG-21.
Filter targeted.
Copy, returning south.
Enfield 1 is Castle.
2 is returning, steer 10.
Cold 3 Fox.
3
Cold
to
3
steer
targeted
10.
southern. 4, steer 10. Cold 3 threat, bra 0355, 26,000, flank west, hostile MiG-21.
T status.
Enfield 1-3, threat bra
2 inbound,
1405,
steer 10,
26,000,
3 miles
flank
out,
west.
like MiG-29, 9 o'clock.
Fox to that target.
Okay.
5 miles from me.
Enfield, easy 1 minute remaining on jammer. Enfield threat, southeast 3,
Okay, guys.
26,000,
Flow
hot.
185.
185, number 2.
Enfield's flowing 185, defending MiG-21.
Yeah, I'm defending as well.
Altitude. Altitude.
Yeah, just flow.
Uzi 1,
Altitude.
threat,
Altitude.
Clear comms.
0905, 26,000, track west.
Yeah, Judy. Okay, flow 186.
That threat was for Uzi.
Understand, we're engaged.
Okay, back at 186.
Alright, just let's rejoin at steer 4. Steer 4.
Copy.
2 copies, rejoin steer 4.
Colt, status engagement MiG-21s.
4 heading steer 4, I'm out of steer. MiG-29 is on my team.
Alright, flow steer 3, flow steer 3.
Steer 3,
Copy,
number 2.
I'm 4 miles out.
Two is 3.5 miles out, steer 3.
Colt 1, you have a furball, draw 31515, Uzi 1.
2 is on the left hand orbit, 6,000 feet, steer 3.
3 is at the Eagles 10, a left hand turn. 2.4.
Yeah, I think I'm to your left 9 o'clock, low. I'm at Angels 4.
MiG-23s.
Uzi 1-2, have a MiG hot on my 6.
Alright, I'm in a right-hand orbit, Angels 4 at steer 3. Try to rejoin.
Colt 3, MiG-23 group, draw 065, 25, 18,000, descending, hot, hostile, 2 contacts, MiG-23.
Okay, flight say weapons.
Two has 4 heaters and about 80% rockets.
3, 4 heaters, 4 CBU-87s.
3, 4 heaters, 3 Mark 80.
Okay, cool. So we still got plenty of weapons. Reverse the turn, check left, flow
Uzi Colt
steer
status.
2. More MiG-21s coming in.
MiG-21, flowing south.
Is there still a MiG-21 up?
Let's go up to altitude and reference
Not
steer
as far
2.
as we can tell.
Steer 2.
Overlord, all MiG-21s vanished.
I'm over
Colt.
steer 2, Angels 5.
Colt.
Say again.
I'm over steer 2 now, Angels 5.
I'm coming in from the
Colt 3, single group, bra
coming in from the northwest,
07016,
Angels 7.
14,000, hot, hostile, MiG-23 fast, 2 ship. 070.
2 is coming in from the southwest,
Colt 1,
Angels
single
3.
group, bra 10016, 14,000, hot, hostile, 2 contacts, MiG-23, lead trail 4, targeted by 3.
Two is in the left-hand orbit over steer 2.
Alright, let's try to look for like Angels 18.
2.
Trey. 4. Colt 2, threat northeast at 3, MiG 23.
Colt 1, Fox 1, MiG 23, times 2.
Alright, right hand orbit here.
213, Magnum Bravo.
2 is still in the left-hand orbit.
3 is reversing to right hand orbit. Overlord clean.
Alright, 2 visual. I'm gonna right hand turn, just northwest.
Colt 1 report, MiG 23, splash times 2, we're retrograde to the west.
Negative 2 is not visual.
Alright, we'll try to get me. I'm gonna right hand turn, Angels 14.
Magnum Delta.
Copy.
Yeah, and 40 flying.
3 in the right hand turn, Angels 11, climbing.
So 2, what steer point are you referencing? Because I think you're flowing away from me.
Referencing steer 2.
Okay. Our distance is increasing, so I'm not sure where you're at.
Free, stay out. Stay out.
3 say again? 4 say again?
Stay altitude.
I'm at 12 now. Climbing to 18.
Uzi Colt.
Copy, I don't see on the data.
Go for Uzi.
What's remaining jam time?
-5.
Minutes ago.
Hey, be advised, Enfield's resetting at Marshall for another attack. We didn't sort it. We're going to be attacking Delta.
Eastern plane.
Colt 5.
East of steer point 2.
Say again?
3 is the eastern plane of steer point 2.
Enfield Colt, unable to support the Bekaa with this SA-6 active. You'll have to draw them south to deal out.
Yeah, roger. Okay, 2, what's your status?
2 is now north of steer 2.
So, like, I'm on top of the steer point right now, Angels 18. Can you see me?
Not yet.
Sam Lodge, Charlie and Delta.
Okay, well...
4, yeah, visual on me?
Ray gun.
Yeah. No, spied by SA-6. Yeah, now,
So go down to Angels 18 and just fly a right-hand orbit. Make sure it's a right-hand orbit, Angels 18.
2 is Angels 18, right-hand orbit.
3 has visual on somebody. Angels 18.
2, are you headed out right now?
Yeah.
Check left, and like pull a 180.
4 Ray gun.
I've got somebody at me at 1 o'clock.
Okay, 2, continue left. I should be near 7 o'clock. Go out, like 6 miles. Just continue in a left-hand turn. I should be now to your like 9 o'clock. I'm flying directly intercept on you right now. We're gonna be passing. You're gonna be passing my right too. My right too.
Somebody climbing in between us.
Oregon.
Alright, we don't
Everybody's climbing.
someone has me locked.
10. Or is near one, but I don't think.
Okay, cool. We don't have time for this. Let's reference the. We're generally in the same area. Let's go down. Let's go down to the deck and reference steer 13. Uzi, say weapons.
Uzi is now Winchester anti-ground.
Outstanding.
SAM launch north, Bekaa Valley.
Okay, I'm idle throttle, referencing 024.
Uzi 1 calling door closed. We're no longer able to suppress SAM.
Left side of the hill. Left side of that big green hill to our right 2 o'clock. I'm referencing that copse of trees 023.
Altitude.
Enfield Uzi status. Or,
426
Enfield's
miles.
attacking Delta in 2 minutes.
called.
Two's now NOE 30 miles out of the 2. That's 13.
Just reference 017, guys.
Tree is 23 miles out.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Yeah, we gotta get closer to
Altitude.
each other because we're gonna get killed if we like are all attacking at different times. Reference tier 10. We're gonna try to rejoin at tier 10.
Altitude. Altitude.
Copy. I'm 10 miles out from 10.
Altitude.
Overlord bogey dope.
Altitude. Pull up.
Overlord clean.
Altitude. Altitude. Pull up. Pull up.
Okay, I'm flowing 011 Angels 3, 6 miles to the southeast of steer 10.
Tree is 5 miles out, 014 degrees.
Okay,
2 miles out, steer 10.
so 3, I think you're right on my 6 right now.
4 or 5 miles out.
Blind.
Or maybe I'm right on your 6. I might be right on your 6. Oh, I see you, yeah. I'm to your right 5 o'clock low. And then Chimpok's behind me.
Overlord Uzi.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
What do you want me to do?
Altitude.
Just continue as planned. Check right for the IP. The IP is steer 13.
Altitude. Altitude.
Copy. Turning towards 30.
Bring it down, man. You got to get real low.
Reagan.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. So 3 is to my front somewhere.
2 is NOE.
I just lost visual on 3, but he's somewhere to our front. Come right into this valley.
Altitude. Altitude.
Chimbok, roll right into the valley here.
Altitude. Altitude.
Track by SF-6.
Got to get low, man.
I'm 4 miles out from target.
Yep, I'm
Altitude.
visual you.
Altitude.
Visual you. I'm 1 mile trail.
Copy, 2 miles out.
Okay, Enfield 1's in from the southwest. Okay, let's go on the pop.
Visual on 1 and 3.
Pickle.
Altitude. Altitude. Cat flare.
Breaking on right.
One's off to the right.
4 up to the right.
Before you get weapons away.
1 away, but probably missed.
All right, let's continue. Follow the flight plan, and we'll go reset, and we'll reattack again.
3's Winchester.
Roger that.
Altitude. Altitude.
One's flown back to Steer 13.
Altitude. Altitude.
2 flying back to Steer 13.
2, where are you?
Heading 13.
I think I'm on your 6 right now. 1.
Did you get weapons away?
Yeah, I did, but no hits.
Understood. 1 is IP inbound, right-hand turn.
Or IP inbound.
Altitude.
2's IP inbound.
Altitude.
Okay, there's still 1 launcher up on the left side. That's my target. 2 or the other guy, you have the launcher on the right side.
4.
Altitude.
2.
Altitude.
Rockets, off to the right.
Cat flare.
Enfield, Colt status.
Enfield, standby. We're engaged.
Or 1 away.
Altitude. Altitude.
Okay, Enfield, Delta's destroyed.
So we are merged with 2.
2 is Joker.
Roger that. Let's flow back to Steer
Altitude.
10. I want us to do a reattack on
Altitude.
Bravo, and then we'll RTB.
Altitude.
2.
Altitude.
3.
4.
Okay, fly the pattern out. We're going to flow back to Steer 13, following the pattern as fragged. And then once we're in the valley, we'll reference Steer 10.
2.
4.
3. I'm over Steer 10.
You're at Steer 10 right now?
Yeah, I'm Winchester.
Okay, flight safe fuel.
Altitude. Altitude.
2 fuel status 2.7.
3, 2.2.
4, 3, 4.
Okay, force A weapons.
4, 1 Mark 82. And 4.
Okay, Enfield, we're flowing back to Bravo. We're going to do 1 more attack on Bravo, and then we're milk on.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
Actually, you know what?
Altitude.
Let's attack. There's still
Altitude.
vehicles on. There's still vehicles on Alpha. Let's
Altitude.
attack those. Chimbok.
Altitude.
We're right here. We're right here.
Uzi 1 is Winchester and Bingo. We're RTB.
Okay,
Overlord, roger.
I'm IP inbound. I'm IP inbound from Steer 8, attacking Alpha.
Overlord, Colt 3, picture. Overlord, clean.
Altitude. Altitude.
4 IP inbound.
I'm attacking the far Tellar on the adjacent to the road there.
That's again.
Rockets. Off to the west.
Overlord, we have a tower now, so when you RTB, push 250.9.
Colt 250.95.
4 status.
4 runway up to the.
Okay, roger that. Let's look for angels. Let's flow 210, look for angels.
4.
Enfield 1, Miller time.
True.
Colt copy, Miller time.
Overlord, copy Miller time.
Easy.
Possible enemy contact to our left high. The network high. Contrailing.
What is that?
Possible enemy contact is not on the data link.
Overlord, bogey dope. Left, 190, 10 miles high.
Enfield 1-1, it's friendlies to your south. Colt 1.
Roger.
Say Angel.
I'm passing through Angel 16. Looking for 20, and I'm referencing
Overlord,
0.23.
activity Kalhala.
For Joker.
Three Angels 20. Overlord, new group. Bullseye 07052, 8000, climbing, track north, bandit 2 contacts, make 21.
Colt Judy, 2 contacts, make 21.
Overlord.
Flight safe fuel.
2 fuel set 114.
3 1.6.
427.
4, you have 2.7.
Affirm.
Roger.
Afterburner cycle useful.
Yeah, I have good fuel. I have like a 3.4 actually, believe it or not.
Man.
Colt 1, roger. Maintain current heading, I'll call you back. Colt 1.
Enfield 1 short final. Runway 27.
Comma David, Enfield 1-2 on final runway 27, straight in, full stop.
1-2, be advised, it appears that you have the wrong runway in sight. It currently looks like you are set coming in, set coming in incorrect runway here. Make left-hand traffic, flow directly north, I'll call your turn.
Enfield 1-2.
Enfield 1-3, you should have friendly traffic, 2-ship F-16 co-altitude off your 12 o'clock.
Visual. Am I clear to land?
Enfield 1-3, clear to land, runway 27, altimeter 29er2, winds are calm.
Copy, clear to land.
Enfield 1-1, tower, exit runway to the right when able, remain on this frequency, taxi to parking at your discretion.
Enfield 1-1.
Enfield 1-2, tower, friendly traffic F-16 off 9 o'clock right now, co-L.
Enfield 1-2.
Cold flight, Ramat Tower. Be advised, you have a friendly 2-ship F-16s at 1,300, 8.5 miles, bearing 251.
Ooh, shit. Oh my
What have
god.
you done
Hey, Chimpak, you here?
now?
Amazing. I was able to load the Tauntaun 3D flight plan into TACView.
Oh, like the CAMZ
so I can
file.
see our flight plan in TACView. Sexy time.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah, I just did that too. That's fucking fantastic.
GP, just looking at the TAC view real quick, it's hard to know what you could have done against that missile that actually impacted you. The first one that you evaded, at least on TAC view, went right through your plane. I was watching you in F2 view, and it looks like you had dodged that one, but the second one, I mean, he was going 1.7 still, and you were trying to drive it into the dirt, and
yeah, I was doing everything I could to keep it down, and there was a hill off to my right, and my plan was to kind of go inverted and bring it back around next to the hill to hopefully drive it into that. But I mess up my turn. I look over my shoulder to try to track the missile again, and I stayed there a little too long and kind of lost my bearings. So when I came back out, I looked forward, saw the missile, and I was like, yeah, that sucks. But yeah, we'll debrief all that. I think the big error is I kept my head down in the self-protect mode a little too long when I was flying behind the flight lead there. So I kind of gave up some of my situational awareness, and by the time I switched over to my TOO mode, I was noticing that the targets were really low on the screen there, and I was like, oh, that means they're right below me, doesn't it? And I'm like, well, shit.
Oh, man. It's so badass. Hey, Volk.
Yeah?
Can you hear me, Volk?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, Volk. I'm looking at the ACMI, and when we attacked Delta, your CBU opened immediately as soon as you released it, and it blasted into the battalion like a shotgun, and you wiped out like five vehicles with one CBU, and then I came in with rockets and just murdered the rest of the battalion.
Yeah, I really saw them late. It was a bit too low, I guess.
Apex almost bought the farm there. I don't know how he survived that one.
All right, cool. All the aircraft are on the ground and we are in good shape. Well, almost on the ground. Here we go. I just jinxed it. He's going to crash on short final. Fuck. Oh, cool. One, two, proceed as requested.
Yeah, what up?
Hello.
Hey, Scoop. Welcome home.
Oh my god. I forgot what it's like to try to co-flight lead and Rio. Ugh.
It gets hectic real freaking fast. The pilot has like a walk in the park. But when you have the Rio back there, that guy is doing 30 things at once.
I thought that went pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, I think overall good out for sure, even though my plane is impaled in someone's house at this point, but
As long as it is Hezbollah, we're okay with it.
PD, thanks so much for doing all the controlling today.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, sure.
Very helpful.
That was.
Yeah, no problem.
you guys will have to come check out the TTI servers on Thursday night, get some serious controlling.
I think that's actually one of the bigger issues we run into is that I don't think we have a lot of controllers that know how to handle a non-public like pub server. Because everything's squished into like a maximum of 2 hours, there's a lot of chatter.
You know, some of that can be solved right with different frequencies. But of course, the trade-off there is you give up some of your SA when you're using like a different air-to-air versus air-to-ground comm.
Yeah, we've got a lot of experience running packages like package comms. We have much less experience with integrating controllers into that framework, and I think controllers have a lot of or haven't really experienced integrating into a package comms environment either. So it goes both ways.
Well, that was tense.
That was a real goat rope. Is anybody still connected to the server?
I am, but I can quit. I'm just in tower.
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here, you.
I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. Don't have to ask me twice.
Coffee.
All right, yeah, take 5, grab a coffee. Typically we do a debrief involving TACView that we also stream for those that don't have TACView. I would strongly encourage you to hang around and watch it with us. I should also point out that I'm planning on doing another test of the software we use to plan this mission about an hour after we wrap up today. So if you're around this afternoon or whatever time of day it is for more flying, stay tuned.
Cool.
Kraus, I'm gonna pull the TACView from the server now.
Time for a beer.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
No, yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Who was Enfield 1-4?
Chimbok.
That was me.
Chimbok, cool. I'm happy we got you home.
Yeah, thank you. This was too serious ATC for me.
Sorry. I realized that after your first pass. I'm like, wow, I'm throwing at him like winds and altimeter settings and instructions to follow other friendly aircraft. I'm like, I'm just gonna give him some vectors here and we'll fly him in.
Yeah, I used to know this stuff, but I'm rusty.
No, you did great.
Too busy making software. Jesus, man, cut it out.
Yeah,
All right,
stop
so
that.
the TACView file is listed in the Sunday DCS events channel. I'll host the TACView session shortly on the same IP that I put way. I'll just repost it.
We appreciate it.
That one. It'll be up in a second.
Hey, could you do me a favor, Scope?
Yo.
Can you merge the KML file with your TACView file and then re-upload it?
How do I do that? I see the .gif.
Hold on, I'm gonna send you the. I'm gonna DM you the KML file.
Okay, I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back, and then we'll figure it out.
Yep.
Could you post it in the Sunday DCS?
Yep.
Thanks.
What's a camel file?
It's when you need extra hydration in the desert, you use that.
Use your Camelback.
Oh, we can merge this one too.
Yeah.
Oh, right there.
Jesus.
And here I thought it
That's
was
cool.
a coding term.
No, we keep that coding bullshit right out of this channel.
Wow.
Uzi had a very interesting merge.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that. Everything was going dandy until I had a random 29 spike and literally looked over my shoulder to see the MiG-29 there, and I was like, well, fuck.
MiG-29s.
Was it a 29? What was it?
It was 21.
Or 21, that's, yes.
Slight difference, you know.
Yeah. One would have made me very dead. One was less good at making me very dead.
We were
How
flying
do
straight
I-
at Edge, and then
How do I merge this KML?
So download the KML file. Once you have it downloaded, at the top, click like the little like USB drive symbol or whatever. Click merge. Then select the KML file on disk, and then you should be able to see the flight plan, and then just save it.
Cool. I can even do that while I'm hosting it. That's kind of nice.
Who the hell did I shoot at?
I don't know if the other players will be able to see it. Like, I think you'll have to re-export you'll have to resave the ACMI and we'll have to open that, I think.
Okay.
So
I mean,
stand by.
anyone can just merge it in. It's
well,
valid point.
Are we gonna do flight-specific debriefs today, or are we gonna keep it together as a group?
We typically give 5 minutes for each flight to run through their flights, what went well, what went poorly, and then we wrap it up at the end.
Cool.
Only flight leads talk and wingmen stay silent?
Unless you got something super important to add, yeah, we want to try to streamline it.
Okay.
Chimpak is streaming Super TAC View that you can see in the Sunday DCS events channel. I'm streaming Shitty TAC View.
Cool.
Connect. And we'll see how we did.
So who do we want to start with?
You can go for sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So our general plan was to do we were gonna mask. So we analyzed the situation up front. We decided we could probably attack 3 sites maximum with the amount of weapons and aircraft we had. So our plan was to approach a target from the southeast in a terrain masking fashion, do a pop-up onto Alpha. The second element would be staggered behind us by 30 seconds, and they would either continue dry or they would attack, depending on the situation. If they continued dry, they were going to continue to Bravo and attack Bravo. So that was the plan. Once we had destroyed both Bravo and Alpha, we were going to regroup at the IP for Bravo and then push to Delta and attack Delta. And that was going to be the entire package. So we got to the IP for Alpha. I did the pop-up with Apex. When we got there, we immediately got Tally on the straight flush. I killed the straight flush with a rocket run. And Apex did some rockets as well. About 30 seconds later, Volk, who's leading the element, called IP inbound. I said, hey, just continue dry, go to Bravo. So he didn't attack Alpha. He continued on to Bravo as planned. They did a pop-up and attacked Bravo, I believe killing the straight flush. Then, oh no, that's a lie. We got jumped by MiGs. They did one run on Bravo, then we got jumped by MiGs. So we egressed as planned, bearing 210, called Castle. We didn't hear any comms from anyone, but we just called Castle, started egressing, and we just rejoined like north of the Marshall Point, waited for the MiGs to get splashed, and then resumed. Went to Delta, unsupported by Harms, and Cap, just sort of went in as planned, terrain masking. Did the attack, executed it flawlessly. The first pop by Volk like decimated most of the battalion, and then myself, Apex, and Chimpak did some re-attack, or not even re-attacks. It was on the same run. We just wiped out the rest of the battalion. The entire battalion was destroyed. We had 2 people that were like bingo at that point, I think. Started egressing, and we wanted to do one more run. So we were going to attack Bravo. We changed our minds and attacked Alpha. We did another run on Alpha, did some rocket runs, did some Mark 82s, and then egressed RTTB'd and landed. Good stuff for people. So 2, good job with rockets. I know it was like, I think you were pretty new to using rockets, but I think you did a pretty good job. Good effect on target. 3, solid performance. Element leading, I think you did a really good job with the CBU employment. 4, actually really good effect of the Mark 82s, good attack stuff, and I think everyone did a pretty good job trying to get rejoined. We weren't able to get rejoined visually, which was definitely a red flag for me, but we were definitely trying, and we got within about 2 or 3 miles of each other, and in real life you'd be able to see people, but DCS is DCS. I don't know if the markers were working scope, at least not for my flight. We couldn't really see the dots, so like we were pretty blind on each other when we tried to rejoin. So yeah, those are points to sustain, points to improve. For 2, there was a lot of that flight where you were like way stripped out. Like the first attack was perfect. You were like glued on my wing. And then when we tried to egress, to rejoin to rejoin, like I never really saw you again until we were like on final and attacking. So like I would just work on that, try to get visual, try to lock people up on the radar. Like you can correlate the data link to where they are and just lock them up in dogfight mode or whatever. Try to like treat them like a bandit basically, to get into them and get locked. 3, I don't really have anything. 4, I would say like one thing I want to hear from everyone is I want to hear in. So like I'm in from the direction that you're attacking from. So like in from the southeast, and then I want to hear off when you're done attacking, right? Off to the east, 2 away. Because I think Volk was like the only one doing that, and so I had to keep asking what your status was, which is annoying and doesn't help anyone. So like it's better to just say 3 or 4 in from the southeast, and then unless you get aborted by someone, just continue your attack. And then when you release your weapon, 2 away, off to the east. Just so people know where you are, what your status is in a given attack. Otherwise, like the flight lead has to check on you constantly. That's very not good from like a flight management point of view. Yeah. My only other points for improvement for the like package level stuff is like I mean, Skynet can get into this in his debrief, but I was pretty surprised that you didn't have any harms left for our Delta attack. If you were firing self-protect harms against like actively tracking SAMs, then that's fine. But I was pretty surprised that I was going to be attacking Delta completely unsupported. We planned to attack it unsupported, so it wasn't like a big deal. Like we, as you'll see in the ACMI, we killed it before it even had a chance to spot us. But I was a little surprised there. So you can debrief that. I don't know, if you were firing harms to like save wingmen and stuff, then obviously what I'm saying doesn't matter. Yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Thanks, Krause. Anybody in Enfield want to very quickly talk about anything? Awesome. All right, so Skynet, all you, buddy.
Right, well, we took off. We proceeded north as soon as we got there, and then some MiG-21s turned hot, which we didn't like, so we retrograded to wait for Colt to get their ass in the air, because F-14s are slow like that. We began our attack, waiting for Enfield to call that they were in. So we got shot at which point I think I activated the jammer because Krause finally called 1 minute. And then it was basically just a bonanza. I mean, we fired some harms at stuff that shot at us, some SA-2s mostly. And then basically just flew around in circles. We turned in to support Colt for one of their dogfights, but it was over by the time we got there. And then
like you got into a fight here, hey?
Yeah, and then we got into a fight where I heard the AIC call threat MiG-21 and then missed where the MiG-21 was. So I went defensive, looking over my shoulder to see if he was there, and then didn't see him until he showed up on 2-6. And then we had a bit of a hairy situation where I tell 2 to knock it off because I've got a better shot, and then miss the shot and don't get it again until I notice 2 in my peripheral vision right in front of the MiG-21. But we killed it, and no one got killed that time. And
what happens here? Did you lose sight of the bandit here?
I can't see what you're showing.
Really?
Yeah, whose stream are we looking at? Are we looking at Scopes?
Scope.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm also controlling the TAC view, Skynet.
Oh, you're controlling
that, right?
both. Okay.
I can't
so
see
right here we have I'm Sheepy 1-2 or Uzi 1-2. So he comes behind me for a second. And yeah, Skynet is cruising forward, and I think it's like right here where I really noticed that this guy was attacking us and not just like flying around like a bug kind of thing on me.
Yeah, like I see To me, this just looks like you guys lost sight of the bandit and you didn't do any like check 6 maneuvers.
So before this, we never had any eyes on him. So we turned away, went into a turn to look for him, and then when we didn't have any RWR contacts, I started looking and didn't see him until he showed up on 2-6.
If you scroll out right when we make the first turn, off to the east, is there a missile launch? Maybe not.
No.
At any rate, so you find out that he is in fact on your 6 and you haven't been dodging for nothing. And you take a couple of guns to the bum.
Yep, so I really realized there, and we go into kind of a spiral here together.
You getting like a RWR spike there, or?
Not until that last minute when he went guns. He was quiet.
So then you start flailing. Skynet comes around, clears you, has the bandit, and then the bandit draws right back into you. So Skynet goes for guns and an aim 9 that might have hurt you.
Yeah, so once I saw that 2 was showing up in the peripheral, I told 2 to go defensive with flares and then fired a Fox 2 at him.
Okay, I'm sorry, Sky. Go ahead with the rest of your...
Because at this point, I'm not sure if I'm too close for Fox 2, which is why I go for guns. But then decide to expedite things. But anyway, we shoot him down and then reset. And at this point, by my counter, the jammer should have run out. So I started a stopwatch in the jet. We also had no idea that Enfield had gone south at this point, which is probably my bad for missing things.
Yeah, I called Castle like twice, and I also called egressing like 3 times, and I didn't get any response, and I was like, cool. Let me just kept egressing.
Yeah. So we had no idea, but we start suppressing, and then 2 goes a bit too far north and gets shot down. He would have lived, but from what I can tell, he pulls too hard, basically, and ends up flowing basically straight down into the missiles instead of away from them.
Yeah, that is the exact opposite direction you want to be going.
Yeah. So if he'd pulled 45 degrees down and then continued out, he would have probably lived.
You nearly beat that second one.
So the harm hits the site like 30 seconds after the missile hits.
Yeah, when I was flying north, I switched over to the TOO, and I was like, oh wow, I am really deep in the bad guy territory here. So I put 1 downrange, switched to SP as I was thinking about making my egress, and then this guy pops up for the SP page, and I'm like, oh, time to shoot him too.
Yeah, that first harm you fired was not at the right target either.
No, it wasn't. That was the first target that popped up as on my TOO page as like the most likely threat, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just like, all right, I'll trust it, and I put 1 downrange on him.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But then we reset and lob some more harms at things that pop up on our RWR. And then Kraus comes up and says, we're about to attack Delta.
That's Delta there.
Yeah, so Delta's already dead, the radar at this point. So we switch to basically pretending we're very juicy targets so that they shoot at us before they shoot at the F-16s. And basically just fly around getting shot at for 5 minutes. And then RTB.
So it seems like the primary failure of your flight would be communication then, that Kraus thought that site was still active when he began his attack.
So without... The problem is that it's really hard to tell in the F-18 what site you're actually shooting at. So you can do it with TOO mode. So with TOO mode you can do it, which is basically what we were doing or at least what I was doing when we were targeting specific sites. I would set that site as the weapon designate and then look for the box to overlap it, wait for it to shoot, and then shoot at it. But it's a pain in the ass to do because there's no HOTAS command to change steer points in the Hornet, so you have to go hands off and do it on the OSB. And with no pre-brief mode, you don't know for sure what you're shooting at in self-protect.
So points to sustain, points to improve for your flight?
So points to sustain, I had a really good understanding of sort of where people were and what their status was. Like Mahuja breaks, goes off, and gets lost early on once or twice, but always tells me what he's doing when he gets lost. And 2 stuck to me like super glue until he gets shot down. So that was really good. The actual engagements were great. We did pretty much what we planned to, and except for 2 getting shot down,
You guys probably saved our ass killing these SA2s out here as well.
I thought they were shooting at me, but yeah. So that all went really well. The problem is my ability to soak up package comms while flight leading, and just general sort of essay of where the other flights are.
Yeah, this series of missions really stretches that too, because everything is a knife fight in a phone booth.
Yeah.
On
the other hand, we did destroy all of the southern SAMs. I think we destroyed more SAMs than we were planning to, which is always nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think adding to that with the package comms, because kind of early on we realized that comms were going to be a lot on this op, so I started trying to help out lead by like listening to bullseye calls and stuff for hostile aircraft. But a lot of times from some of the other package flights, we would get the call of like, we're going hot on Bravo right now. And from our perspective as a SEAD aircraft, when we were further west, there was nothing we could do to help you at that point, right? We weren't in position. We weren't kind of sorted out of who's going to be shooter, who's going to be self-protect. So maybe a little more of a heads up from the SEAD perspective of, hey, we're going to slowly start turning in towards Bravo. Can you suppress? Would have helped us a lot.
The lack of data link means that we can't track where flights are.
True.
So that's why I made a contract where we said 1 minute, right? I did that for each attack we did.
Yeah, and then just before you called 1 minute, we spent 5 minutes talking about who has control of the jammer.
Okay.
Yeah. So early on, there's a set where scope says we can't pursue further north until we get the jammer, and at that point, I haven't heard you say 1 minute, and then we do 5 minutes on who has control of the jammer, and then you call 1 minute. So I turn on the jammer.
Okay, so that boils down to just another tick in the comms tech.
Yeah.
For something to improve on next time.
Like normal, comms is always the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because like 80% of what's being said is useless. Like, for instance, saying that you can't go into the target area because there's SAMs there. Like, yeah, obviously we fragged that, right? Like that was planned. So
right.
It doesn't really add anything.
You called like from our perspective in Colt flight, you were telling Colt to go and kill the MiG-21s that were in the Bekaa, and we couldn't do that without having the SAM shut off.
Yeah, so you just say unable.
But
good point.
Okay.
All right.
All right, cruiser.
Yep.
You've got the
ball.
ball.
I'm instructor. Woo. So, yeah, we got airborne a bit behind everyone else because we spawn at the other end of the airfield. So
this is late game, by the way.
This is late, yeah. But I was about to say, where's 3? So let's get back to the start. Okay, here everyone is pushing at the same time. We reach our waypoint 3, that's around this point, and start heading back towards waypoint 2. We were initially we had planned to set up a grinder between 2 and 3. Initially, we had some getting it sorted out issues. So here, if we went to waypoint 3, we started turning back for waypoint 2. I call for my 2 to follow us back towards waypoint 3, while 3 is heading back towards waypoint 2. And it sort of semi-worked. At this point, we get called in that there's MiG-21s coming in over here from the, which is the north, from our perspective. So we sort on them. A lot of shit flying around. And we say, well, we are going to engage the forward one. 2 is going to engage the one in the back. We end up merging. 2 kills his bad guy. We are in a dogfight. We lose our drop tanks. And then we just fox to the last of the MiG-21s. So pretty painless. 3 comes in, support from behind also planned, so that went pretty well. So we decide, okay, let's go back to the grinder. So we start initially flowing back, but then we get called that there's more MiG-21s coming in from the east. And
about
something goes wrong here. Because we were sorted on the guy on the right and are trying to engage him, but 2 shoots a
That's 3.
Sparrow.
So to clear that up, we confirmed trail, not left or right.
No. This isn't that one, Lyndon. That's later. This is when 1 and 3 went off and we were going to go back.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah,
okay,
so
that's not 2.
What happened here is I thought
so
that I had
3?
heard GCI had said 3 target the southeast target, which I took to mean is this guy. And I assumed someone else was then pressing the guy to the northwest.
Okay, so that's where the misunderstanding is, and that is also why this guy managed to penetrate our lines.
Where's
And
2 in this? I don't see him anywhere.
2 is called to support right about now, and then we should be turning now.
Oh, where 2 is?
Where's 2? Yeah.
He's over there.
Okay.
We were told to go to that waypoint, or steer point. That's why we're over there.
Yes, I believe I said that 1 and 3 would commit on the targets and 2 would continue to the steer point until we called them in, just so we didn't commit everything to with just these 2 guys. Might have been a bad call at that point because I thought the second guy, the second MiG, was being handled at the same time. So
can we zoom in on this fight too? It looks like we're attacking as individuals here. Like, look at we're basically like, I didn't feel like we had much we had mutual support in each fight as long as we were sorted properly. And if we weren't sorted properly, we get into this situation where we're not really calling support or shooter. And I was having a hard time getting that from us.
Oh, was that why you guys were like, 2, your shooter, shoot him? Well, we're like 20 miles out still, because you thought that 2 was with you and not 3?
That was 2. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's one thing I'd love to see the Tomcats work on is we get target fixated a bunch, and the number. So you only need 1 shooter in a dogfight, and the other guy should be maneuvering for position. And if you don't have that happening, you should start communicating rapidly to try to establish that. I feel.
Offensive. 3 was offensive on that bandit, and this one, but was there a better call we should have made?
No. I mean that's the same thing, but it's just the idea that if you have 2 guys on 1 bandit, only one of them needs to be forcing the bandit to turn, and the other guy can get outside of the turn fight and gain a better position for a kill. And being able to see when your buddy has a better shot than you and to tell him to take that shot rather than you is pretty important. Like here, we're basically both of us are dancing around the MiG, I felt.
Yep.
So what I usually do, and what I did in that dogfight we did, is call for someone to extend, like turn away and come back in with like 10-mile separation, because then you can take the shot if I can't line it up by then.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And that's the way to do it. You don't need 2 people maneuvering to get on someone's side.
And
okay, but you also don't need to separate by 10 fucking miles. Like, if someone's high cover, then just float up above the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I pulled the number out of my ass.
Keep in mind that I'm particularly useless in this fight because I was just Rioing. But when I noticed, anytime that I noticed there was a second Tomcat engaging the same bandit as us, and we hadn't figured out our roles, we were both shooter, I would tell Cruiser to extend. Like, I would just have him like, okay, go high over these guys, like stop chasing the bandit, go high, we'll come back down on them. And I felt like that helped a lot, but I mean, that was just a backseater yelling instructions at that point.
And even like 2s and 3s shouldn't be afraid to tell lead to fuck off if they think they're in a better position.
Absolutely.
Like if you're in dogfight and you see that one is maneuvering between you and a bandit you have a better shot at, just tell him to knock it off.
Which you did last week with me.
Yes.
Denying me my beautiful gun skill.
And we notice, I don't know if it was GCI or we just noticed it, but we picked up this second MiG on the radar and came in to try and get them off Uzi flight, but they managed to take care of it themselves. So then I believe we try. Actually, we thought about reestablishing the grinder, but now there's MiG-23s coming in, and we have that's 2, right?
Yeah.
So 2 comes in, takes the first shot. One of the MiG-23 shoots back at 3, and 2 is also taking fire. Oh, who popped the?
That was what happened there?
This is a great set.
Which part?
That might be a TAC view thing.
Yeah,
Does
that's
that
a
look-
tech view thing.
That looks like
we blew them up.
Pretty sure we killed both of them.
Oh wow, your Sparrow actually hit a target. Like I haven't seen that in months.
Well, our Sparrows were actually performing pretty well.
Were they? What the?
Yeah.
Probably they're getting dumpstered fast.
Yeah, like you saw our head-on shot to start this off. It didn't do anything.
Oh,
chaff for breakfast. Yeah, they eat a lot of chaff.
Anyway, sorry. Continue.
So Raspberries gets him, and 2's going defensive. 3 is coming in, and what happened?
That's that too.
Oh, I'm getting you guys mixed up. So okay, I thought he was just shooting at you, and then the missile goes up.
He's chasing Colt 1-2 at that point.
Yeah, and splat.
No, we almost died. 124
We
feet.
gotcha.
You were so close to dying.
Oh my gosh.
Someone's got to keep you alive.
Yeah.
This is great mutual support. Look at like Razgriz's distance from this fight. This whole way in is so good. Like because the bandits are maneuvering to attack his buddy, and he just gets these 2 beautiful kill solutions like each time. Raz and Moody, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys killed it in this one.
And we're coming with a pretty optimistic aim 7 from out here. And then the fight is already over.
Hold on. How does that aim 7 make that turn? You see that on the right?
Oh yeah, what the hell?
Yeah. Oh, what?
Behind enemy
It's a
lines.
180.
That's the.
You got behind enemy
This
lines
is just
there.
TAC view being weird.
Yeah. Very weird. Okay. So
Now it's an
that
account
fight.
roll against the R-24.
So that fight is done for
Oh.
then.
We have an air-to-ground kill somewhere in here that we're gonna have to try and check out.
I'm pretty sure I killed a farmer with my fuel tanks as well. So then we go back and we try to reestablish the grinder. All the way back to waypoint 2. Do a left-hand turn. 2 is following us. And something goes wrong. I think it's because I told 3 to hold back a bit and then follow us, but he comes after us pretty quickly. So we come back in, and this time I tell 3 stay here while 2 and I loop back to waypoint 2. So 3 is now doing some nice loops up here, holding position. And we come back and we turn around at waypoint 2. 3 gets the go ahead to go back to waypoint 2 as well, opposite direction. So at that point, finally the grinder is established. And then we were coming here, and pretty much the AO is clear at this point, but then we get called out that these 2 MiGs are tracking and coming in hard on us, so we end up engaging them.
I was confused. We probably should have gone home.
Stop before what happens next. Okay, so we're going into these 2 targets. Someone, I'm pretty sure Cruiser, called they were commit on this lead guy.
Okay, I did hear that as well. Okay.
Okay, I heard commit lead, and I said, okay, Raj, 3's commit trail. Okay, play the tape.
Yeah, I think we missed which one was the lead.
Clearly
Yeah,
the one in front.
so we both go for the same guy. He explodes, and we thought 2 had killed his guy because he
I think
called
what happened is
we killed our guy. We killed Trail.
So,
Yeah.
but someone called Splash 2.
So
And then
this was the. I mean, it's a communications breakdown. But what we heard, what we saw was Cruiser and I engaged one bandit, and then I saw him explode. So we called Splash, And then Colt 2 called splash on the same bandit,
We
which
probably
was
stepped on each
which
other
was
or something.
his bandit. And then we thought, okay, well that's 2 MiGs dead, 2 MiGs on radar, we're clean.
That's why you call
and
out
then
altitude.
3 tells us otherwise.
That's why the brevity is you
But
call
no,
out the altitude when you call
we
a
heard
splash.
sorted lead and sorted trail between 1 and 2. So,
So
Correct.
this is the reason
lead
why the brevity, which no one uses the brevity properly, you're supposed to call out the altitude that you splashed the bandit at. That's like part of the brevity. So you would have said like splash MiG-21 8,000. So if the other guy's not at 8,000, if he's at 10,000, you're like, oh, that there's still a bandit there, right?
Well, but I mean, at this point, the lead has already sailed right past both of them.
Yeah, were this not a MiG-21, people would be very dead right
But
now.
if the same person said splash 8,000, then you know you
No,
only
that's
killed one
cool.
bandit. You didn't kill two
Oh,
bandits.
scope. So as we're passing this MiG-21, you call Fox 2, and at the same time, I'm watching serenely this MiG-21 fly past our canopy and just wondering, I wonder if lead's gonna hit us instead, because this was the lead. This was the lead.
This guy's coming right at your face.
Yeah, thank God for rear aspect only missiles.
Yeah.
Were you both sorted the trail then?
Yeah, we
that's
so
what
we
happened.
claimed trail. One also claimed trail, but they accidentally picked first claimed lead. We claimed trail. First accidentally picked up trail instead of
And
lead.
then GCI was like, shit, Colt 1-2, you've got someone on your ass.
So who was cover? Was there anyone covering?
1-3.
Three was coming in as cover from out there, but I think we called at this point that actually here we go. So we killed the one in the back, and 3 is coming in from support from behind, and I think we both called that we splashed our bad guys.
Right.
So I can understand if 3
And
didn't immediately
Spike
pick up
now
the
is
problem.
where we got it.
Yeah.
So here comes 3 in to save the
They
day.
heard splash 2 and turned around, and then
Because we're getting painted by a 2 this whole time.
Yeah, we are. And then 3 does not actually get this guy.
So I think it's 2 that turns back in.
Oof.
Yep.
Whoops.
We turned back in. I fucking one shot. I took it a bad position. Second shot hit him.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, what was that? Can you
What?
zoom in on that?
Don't-
Can we
don't
play this
worry
back
about
Looks
at
like you
normal
rammed
Don't
speed?
worry
him.
about it. It's fine.
No, I didn't. It was a
Okay.
close range shot though.
Oh my god.
Nice. And we were coming in from the top. Yeah. Okay, so I think at that point we're like, okay, fuck this shit. They're all dead now. Let's go home. And that AIM-9 is.
It was a mistake on my part to drag us into that fight. I thought that there were still buddies. I thought Krause's flight was still egressing, because I'd seen them. I'd seen some data link contacts over the hostile area. So it's like, okay, they're still fighting. We've got to, or they're still falling back. We've got to commit on these MiGs so that they can actually get back to Israel. But that was an error. Whoopsies.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you 2 and 3 for keeping up with our bad flying and bad communications.
It was
We all
mostly
lived-
the lead pedal someone had over here.
Every 2 minutes of this cruiser, we're going too fast. Cruiser, we're going too slow. Cruiser, check our altitude.
Oh, one final request. If you're coming in for landing, and you're about to dirty up, call it before you dirty up. Not just
I hadn't thought
You're
you would
like,
be right
"Get
behind
down."
me.
It's
Yeah,
like,
right-
okay.
Right a couple of seconds before that, me sitting in tower, I'm like, Colt 1-1, Colt 1-3, check your spacing. Because
You guys
on the
are way
F10
too
map,
close.
I'm like, if he slows down too fast, they're gonna hit each
You
other.
guys are way too close. This is like movie shit
Oh.
right here.
This is bad right here.
This is like from watching too many movies.
This is fine.
I said fuck it. We were like fuck it. We're just gonna space.
Yeah, right there is where my call is.
Was that like 100 feet?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it's
real.
called a
damn
formation
close.
landing.
Parade landing.
Just don't look at my landing.
We're looking right at it.
All right, can we look at some of the ground attack shit? I didn't realize we were gonna be looking at all the ACMI. I want to look at my shit. I know landings are exciting.
Yeah, so at least from my perspective, things to work on, obviously communication, and just respect the contracts. If we set up a contract that says we're going to do a grinder from here to here, and then the plan changes. Respect that we still have that contract in the books. If our contract is, and I'm the one guilty of it in this case, but if the contract is lead sorts left or front and 2 sorts right or rear, and then we get into a fight and one of us ignores that, it runs into problems. Scope, fuck you.
Lord.
And yeah, just mutual support is awesome. Having another element that's not directly next to you that can flow in and support is really cool.
Abe would like to point out from the peanut gallery that just the cognitive load doing BFM in the Tomcat is difficult because you're looking at a bunch of steam gauges and talking with the guy in back. So we have a bad pattern of going silent or not communicating very well in the merge. And
that's
like
true.
during
on interflight we're silent, but we're talking in the cockpit.
But like we're yelling at our Rios, and that's a fun chat and some great co-op. But like we need to get our voices outside of the cockpit and communicate with other people what we're doing, because we have a really bad habit of clamming up, and I'm guilty of that most of all. But.
No, that's a history of repeat offenses. So you're totally right on that one. Kraus, I'll throw it over to you.
Cool.
I've got to go AFK for a minute.
Cool. All right. Is my flight still here? Or did you guys go to bed?
I'm still here. Got about a half an hour left.
Yeah, me too. I didn't realize we were going to be going over all the ACMI crap. So let's see what we got here. So let me slow this down a bit. Yeah, so this valley is awesome. I love this terrain. This is like the coolest map in DCS. Like we're just flying down this little butt crack right here. And then 30 seconds behind us is the elements. You guys were at good spacing. And this is the first attack onto Alpha. IP's right here. Or it's like right here. It's one of these. That's right here. So I think Apex isn't here right now, unfortunately, but he was a little too close to me. We couldn't sort with him being that close, but I roll in and I immediately see this fan song, which is right here. So there's like, it's like an apartment building here, and there's like a red brick building. Just left of that was the fan, sorry, not the fan song, the straight flush. So I get tally on that and just fucking pump it with rockets. And then Apex, I'm not sure what so he's trying to offset here. Comes in really, really flat. Holy shit. And then you guys were like, hey, should we attack or not? So that timing is perfect, because by the time you were in the pop and ready to attack, we were coming off. And then you said, hey, should we attack or continue to Bravo? I think that was perfect. And then I decided to do a re-attack, so I'm in the pop right now. Trying to get attacks on these Telars. Or Tells, actually. I noticed one thing, which is that I think the rockets that we were using were wrong. So,
What are they, Mark 5s?
So these are Mark 5s, which are HE, right?
Yeah, so is the M151. Those are the 2 different HE warheads you get.
Yeah, so the weird thing is I selected heat in Tauntaun. So in Tauntaun I selected heat. I can't tell if these are, like, would it say something else if they're heat? Or are these HE?
No, they're both of the rocket variants you get are HE. I can't remember exactly what the difference. It's nothing major.
Okay. Because we selected heat in the loadout. So this is good. This is all going pretty much exactly as planned. Let's see what's going on over here with Volk. So you guys are flying the flight plan. Oh, that's going to be a tight turn.
Yeah, it was pretty tight.
Yeah, probably should have offloaded a little bit over here, but here goes. And now you're popping up here. Did you get tally on it immediately?
Yeah, pretty much I did. But we didn't.
Oh shit!
Didn't have time to sort.
So what? I don't quite understand what happened here. It looks like your height of function immediately triggered on one of the bombs.
Yeah, it's.
But not.
But
all of them.
On all of them.
Oh, you
Okay,
fragged
so-
yourself. Yeah.
So,
No,
Crouch,
it's probably flares.
you're right. Mark 5 is heat. M151 is general
Yeah,
purpose HE.
but the weird thing is like I even have Tauntaun up right now, and we definitely selected. Oh shit! I fucked the bed. I shit the bed.
Mark 5 is heat.
Okay, we're
You're
good
firing
then.
Mark 5s.
All
You're
right.
firing heat.
All right, good. When do we get attacked by bandits? Is it after this? Or no, we're egressing now, right? Can't remember what's happening here.
I did notice Volk self-fragged on the CBU strike. He does up next.
I'm trying to remember what's happening here. Let me see what I'm doing.
Yeah, I guess I did.
It was a pretty flat release profile. I would have
popped up higher.
Sorry, we're not even watching that. I would have popped a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you almost get away with it, and I like you'd kind of assume CBUs if they have to unravel and then strike, you're not really expecting a self frag, but.
Oh yeah, so now
Yeah,
we're.
it was too low, and on the second one also, but there even more.
Well, yeah, waiting to see the Delta attack. It's entertaining. You just shotgun blast the battalion in the face. So we're at the Steer 2 right now, just trying to get visual. Gets roughly visual, then we're going. So you actually passed me. I don't know if you ever got visual on me, but I said, hey, I'm visual to your right 5. Did you ever get visual on me at this point?
No, yeah, at that moment, yes.
Okay. Cool. So, and then I was like, all right, you take lead on the attack. So I'm extending here into the valley. Chimbok had visual on me the whole time.
A good tip too, if you're NOE and you're trying to find your buddy, go lower than him. Get him skylined.
So this valley was the ingress direction, and the IP's like right here. So you can see this attack is pretty epic. So as you'll note, we plan to be fired on from here and here and here. And the egress direction, there's a little valley northeast of the target. So we were gonna pop up here, attack, then roll to the right around. So let me slow this down to 1 speed. So you'll see here, this goes pretty much flawlessly. This attack is pretty intense shotgun blast.
Problem I had, I saw the waypoint marker, but I couldn't. I didn't look at the distance, so I didn't know, is it this hill, after this hill, that the target is or not. So I was way too low for, and I think to drop my CBUs.
Yeah, you want to be at least above the height of function, right? So if the height of function.
Yeah.
And you.
But I had to stay low because I had an SA-6 spike,
I know.
and
I know.
yeah.
Well, yeah. So like. When
So
when I practiced, my intention was that we were going to get shot at. So like I was expecting that you would pop up. So this is what I had in my mind, right? We would pop up maybe to 5,000 or 6,000. Come left, attack. At that point, you're going to have SAM launches from these guys. But then by the time you're slicing down, you're going to be in this valley, and then you'll be in cover, right? And they have to have line of sight. So that was like,
yeah,
that was the idea. This attack's fine. This would have been better at Mark 82's, that attack profile.
With the snake eyes,
Yeah, that's exactly what retarded ordnance is for.
So then I'm
You'll
blasting.
also keep in mind, any of these missile defenses, you can defeat at low altitude by pointing your nose towards the ground, more or less. You can force the missiles to autocorrect very, very easily at low altitude, even if you're quite close to them.
So you can see
and
here,
they'll eat it every time.
This is like this is the exact egress route that we briefed, and I think that looking at it in Google Earth made it really fucking easy to see this shit. I think it would have been pretty much impossible to figure out this plan, because like we looked at it in Google Earth and we saw that like if you fly this route, it masks from like all the SAMs back there. So this is like a safe egress, and worked out really well. And then we do another attack. So coming in from the IP again. Another rocket attack.
How are you liking the rockets? You're getting good effect with them.
They're pretty entertaining. Like I would say they're fun. Like I don't know how effective they are, but they're very fun to use. There's some rockets from Apex, which is always fun to watch over your shoulder. Fucking Chimpuck. Oh my god.
It's nice.
Oops. So yeah, then we're egressing on this same route. Yeah, so Volk, I didn't realize at this point that you were going back to like steer whatever that.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
I think 10.
Okay.
Or.
Which makes sense because you.
Yeah, well,
you weren't.
I
Gonna...
was pretty low on fuel already. I was Winchester.
Yeah. Makes sense. I just didn't realize it, so I was like concerned that we had lost someone when we were egressing. Because I looked back and I see these two guys, and I'm like, "Where's Volk?" And then you're like, "Oh, I'm at steer 10 or whatever."
At that moment, I didn't have visual on anybody either. So because on my first turn in, I took a less tight turn. So yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. So at this point, I looked at my 10 o'clock and I'm like, oh, there's still shit up on Alpha. So let's not, like, our plan right now is we were going to go here. We were going to do one final attack on Bravo. But I'm like, hey, there's still some vehicles on Alpha. Let's attack that instead. So this is like a last minute change to plan. I'm extending here so that we can come around and attack from the IP, which is over here. So we extend a little bit to the right, come around. This is the IP. So I'm just extending here to get distance and altitude. And then we roll over and attack this. And I could see these tells. I didn't see this stuff, whatever the fuck these are, but I saw these tells right here. So that's what I attack. And I tell Apex. So I said I was going to attack this one, and Apex attack that one. And I didn't realize that he was in because he didn't say anything. So I would have not done this. I thought he was behind me. But he wasn't.
Wait, what's the altitude difference between your rockets and him?
It's probably not much. I just see streaking coming across my screen, and I'm like, fuck. So, yeah, we'll see in a second.
I would have had the exact same reaction to you. Like...
So they're, like, slightly below him, but definitely not... I mean, the slant range is pretty far, but the altitude difference is probably like, I don't know, 100 feet or something. I don't know how to see that in, yeah, so, what I was expecting is...
Like, to the ordnance.
Well, that tells you the slant range, not the altitude difference. So
I'm sorry.
So I was hoping he would say, like, I'm in, but he didn't. So he just did that, and then I think Chimpock does one Mark 82 attack, and then that's the last attack. Oops. What am I doing? I need an adult. There we go.
That could have been an interesting wall of shame.
Yeah.
Rocket killing your wingman.
That would have been an interesting one. So no friendly fire this week. Beautiful. No, not even really any particularly scary scenarios. We lost, one plane to an SA-6? No planes to MiGs, is that right?
Yeah.
A couple people coming home with bullets in the wings, but that's it. That's pretty successful, all things considered. I was really happy with everybody playing that one. Great seed. Strikes, Krause's strikes on those SA-6 sites were super lethal in